Probably the worst ass beating I ever got, who's now like a multiple-time black belt world champ. The kid's is really good.
Jiu-Jitsu, it's spreading.
I think Texas is kind of the hub now. Yeah, we got New Wave and B-Team. Victor Hugo's over there too. We never know if we're gonna get that call, right? But if we get that call and we're unprepared, I couldn't even imagine.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning into the Patriot Point Show. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Enjoy the video.
Probably the worst ass beating I ever got was by this kid named...
We've all had those.
Yeah, was by this kid named Tynan Dalpra, who's now like a multiple-time black belt world champ. The kid's is really good, super accomplished. He'll probably retire as the best middleweight ever, I think. He's from AOJ. No, you're good. He's with AOJ, Art of Jiu-Jitsu, under the Mendez brothers. So I think he just won Europeans this weekend. But I think his black belt record is at black belt is like 53-1, I think right now, or something along those lines, or 53-2.
Wow.
Incredible. Or more than 60 wins. I forget. He's basically undefeated. He lost one time to Jansen Gomez, and then Francisco Lowe, they had a weird disqualification, but he's really only had one loss at black belt with over 60 or 70 matches now. That's incredible. And I fought him at blue belt when I had I think less than 18 months of grappling experience, and I got a lesson. Right.
Yeah.
But it was good for me because I kind of realized what I needed to do and how far I was from being really good, actually, you know. And then that next year I was able to win worlds gi and no gi right the next year after at adult blue belt. So that was eye opening. The hardest match that I've had, probably that I won. There are two guys that I fought at brown belt that were super tough. One is Nico McGlissick from Australia. He's a really good black belt, and he and I fought in the world final in the gi, in the super heavy division at brown belt. And that was a barn burner match. Went down to 1 point. You know, I'd beaten him at the Pans final. We were kind of having this, very respectful, but he would look at my Instagram stuff, I'd look at his, and I was like, he's working hard, you know, and I'm working hard, you know, in one of those deals. And I knew the rest of the guys in the division were kind of cannon fodder a little bit. There was Hiram Gracie from, he's very good, but I just didn't think he would be in the final. I thought Nico would, and I met him in the final. And his coach is Andre Govao. He's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
And I remember before the match, I was sitting there, I was kind of getting ready, and my coach Joao was behind me. And I remember Govao starts talking to my coach, and they know each other from years past in Brazil and stuff.
I mean, Govao, he's he knows the system.
Oh yeah. He knows. He's probably one of the most winningest ever athletes for sure.
Right.
And the best team in the world right now, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
And and he points at Joao and he goes like this, you know? Oh. And Joao's like shaking his finger and he's like saying that I'm gonna, you know? And so it was good to get that win. And then I talked to Govao at CGI this past year, and he was like, "Man, I always hate when my guys fight you because they always lose." It's kind of funny. He's like, "I was like, man, he's like this guy. He's like, you're pretty strong, bro. He's like, it's annoying, you know, but he's a great guy. I really like Govao." But
you're representing Dallas well.
Yeah, thank you.
Right,
yeah.
you know, me getting my black belt out of San Diego, you know, and Southern California, and kind of being the hub, you know, for high level, you know, jiu-jitsu. It's spreading. You know,
I think Texas is kind of the hub now. We got New Wave and Victor Hugo, and
you got
Alliance
Danaher down there in Austin, right? You know, and Gordon and those guys. You know, like
B-Team.
Yeah.
And then Victor Hugo's over there too. You know,
so Texas is kind of coming
sure.
over. I know, you know, I train at Double Five, and you know, when I'm healthy, and man, everybody's tough there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, not quite your level tough, but they're pretty damn tough. And then Formiga, I mean, my gosh, I mean.
Yeah,
I don't know how many world titles he's got. 15 something. Like, I think he just won again. Like, he's such a great guy to learn from.
I remember when I first trained with Formiga. I forget who told me, but somebody told me, they said, "Hey, he's gonna grab you. He's gonna pull guard. He's gonna grab you, and then you're gonna just see your feet. And you're gonna be flying." And I was like, "Nah, I'm way bigger than him. It's not gonna happen." I remember I tapped hands with him like this. I slap bumped. And then he just grabbed me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm weightless." And then I went right overhead. And that was like the first 6 months of training with him every time. And so it was astounding. It felt like he had magic. You know, the first half year that I trained with him, he was just whooping my ass so bad.
And he's so humble and such a nice guy, and just genuine and authentic. I really love training there. It's a great place.
For me, he's a stud.
You know,
for me, he's a super stud.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to leave with our listeners?
The one thing I'd say is if you have the opportunity, just go train. Look up a jiu-jitsu gym around you. Randy kind of mentioned this in the last show we had. proximity is important, right? So that you don't need to go to the best gym around you. Go to the gym that's close to you. Check out 10 gyms in your areas. Like even people that come to try my gym, I'm going to tell them, hey, before you sign up, you should try like 5 other gyms.
Yeah.
See what fits. Does our culture fit? Does another culture fit you better? Because each jiu-jitsu gym is really like a different culture. It's a different tribe, right? And so find something that fits you. And then the other thing I'd say is always give it 6 months, right? Like a lot of times certain things that we start, we don't always finish because we don't like it midway through. Give it 6 months. If you don't like it at 6 months, just quit. The sport is not for everybody, right? Jiu-jitsu, like it's the sport. It's not the sport for everybody, but it's the sport for a lot of people. And so if you can find that you like it at the 6 month mark, the 5 month mark, the 3 month mark, like my sister was never able to get over that hump. I always tried to have her train. And she would always train for 3 weeks a month. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Oh, my back is sore. And then would just start up 2 months later. And then she just went right back down. So she never was able to get over that physical limit or that mental limit. And so my thing would be just train. Even some of my coworkers for my tech sales job right now, they'll message me, oh man, I have this jiu-jitsu gym in my area. Should I go check it out? And I'll touch base with them every week. Oh man, I had a busy week with my family. Oh man, my shoulder's bothering me from a football injury in high school. I'm not able to go this week. So you're always going to have an excuse, right? You're always going to have a reason to not go train. But just go get off your ass and do it. You know, don't be lazy. We can always make time for what's important. If defending your family and learning a valuable skill that could protect your life and give you confidence is not important to you, it should be, right?
You know, I'd like to leave the listeners with something. I totally agree with you. There's a lot of pain in life, right? And that's no secret to anybody. I'm not saying anything super profound right there. But, you know, you sitting on your couch and your shoulder's going to hurt anyways. You know, your knee's going to hurt anyways. Your back's going to hurt anyways. I choose, if life is pain, I choose the pain of training, right? Because one hurts my heart and the other one doesn't, right? If I sit home and I come up with an excuse to not train, then that is a heartache. And that is the worst kind of ache. You know, that ache where I let myself down, where I could have gone and trained, but I came up with a crappy excuse not to. I would much rather go train, get the endorphins off that, feel good, come back, sit on my couch, and be like, oh man, my back's stiff or my neck hurts a little bit.
But you did it.
Whatever. But I'm like, that pain is so small compared to the heartache or the mental anguish I would have put myself through, right? Had I not gone and trained that day. So if life is pain, well, hell, pick your pain.
Exactly.
One's positive.
Yeah.
One's negative. Which one would you rather suffer from?
Exactly. No, I totally agree with that. And another thing too, I mean, if people aren't motivated to train is, especially if you're a man, because we were kind of talking about, you know, strength, things like that. If you don't have the ability to protect your family, you should feel bad about that. That's a big thing for me, right? Like you should be training firearms. You should be training combatives. You should be training medical. You should be training jiu-jitsu. You should learn how to strike a little bit. You should learn a little bit of boxing. You should learn, you know, these basic skills. Because if that moment does happen and you get that call, right, and your daughter was in a car accident or, you know, somebody comes and assaults your wife at lunch, things like that, and you're out together, what are you going to do as a man? Because that is your role inherently, right? Like biblically and just societally, our role as protectors and providers. So if you don't have that ability, now that doesn't mean you need to spend your life acquiring those skills like Randy or even myself on a smaller scale with my jiu-jitsu and the things that I train, but a base level of understanding can save you from, you know, we never know if we're going to get that call, right? But if we get that call and we're unprepared, I couldn't even imagine the pain from that, right?
You know, and these are all the things that I teach people with American Warrior Combatives, you know, and awctactical.com where people can check these things out. And this is what we want to make people aware of with the Patriot Point show, you know, and as we get our range going, right, how to prepare people for these things. And until the Patriot Point range comes online, you know, we have American Warrior Combatives where people can learn these skills. And I completely agree with you because this is what I do for a living now. I empower people that way, and I think it's very important to be prepared. I think we keep bad things out of our life when we prepare for them.
Exactly.
Or they just don't seem as bad when they happen because you were already kind of prepared for it, so it never got as bad as it could have been, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really important.
Thank you for tuning in to the Patriot Point Show. Join me and my close friends, Randy Roselle, retired Navy SEAL, and Alex Gordy, retired Air Force vet. We're going to discuss a lot of ideas. I think you'll find a lot of value. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for the next one. Thank you.